Hey guys, how are you again? Today we have an iPhone XS Max that we're working on today. This one, as you can see, doesn't look like anything's wrong with the LCD, but after you touch it in a little while, you'll see that the LCD stops like functioning. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it makes these crazy lines, and basically this phone needs a new LCD, which we are going to use, and which we have our new LCD here that we're going to install. Okay guys, let's get started. First, again, pentalobe, bottom screws. You don't have to power it down when you lift the LCD, and the reason why I like to do that is because if you can salvage the LCD, you can make some money by selling if it's like a cracked glass, but I like to always just practice. Usually this was already preheated already, so you will kind of want to do that, preheat this, so that way it becomes a little bit easier to open, especially if the LCD and everything touches. You want to kind of salvage this. But anyways, you can get your Sesmos in here and you can start working your way around the corners, and you'll start gently lifting. You know, it's a little, the frame is a little thicker than your previous models, so you have to be a little careful, especially when you're trying to salvage the LCD. So it is a good idea to preheat it a little bit on a hot plate. Try not to use a heat gun, so you can damage the front-facing camera with a sensor. So little by little, you'll start popping this open, and again, this is going to open up just like the XS and the XS Max. So you want to power now we can power this on. Let's power it down, shut it down, and now we are going to use our Y tool. This phone had been previously open before, so you are going to notice a couple screws missing, but there should have been 3 screws right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. But we're going to take this plate off, and then let's disconnect our battery, which is the next plate. So hopefully you can see this here. I'm going to take out, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, but again, this was previously repaired before, so it's missing a couple bolts. And sometimes you can open up the phone and you see one of the plates have been, one of the screws have been, are missing. And sometimes I've seen it before. Well, they might, you gotta really look around, because sometimes the phone gets knocked around a bit and the screw falls somewhere. Look by the speakers of the magnets. So we're gonna disconnect the battery right here. So this was the one. So I'm gonna lift that up, and then we'll go ahead and disconnect the rest of the other cables here. Notice this has 2 flex cables and then your front-facing camera. Okay. Be careful with this, and we're going to lift that off. Okay, great. So now, what I would like to do is I like to test the front-facing camera. So we're going to loosen this up. Again, if this has never been repaired before, this front-facing camera is a little hard to take off, so you got to be a little careful. So I would definitely use a hot plate. Use a hot plate and try to leave it on for a little bit until it gets warm. Okay, so careful with this. Tiny little bolt. Okay, so you'll open this up. What I like to do with these, sometimes if I can, I try to take this whole thing out, just like that. So you avoid kind of damaging certain things. Okay, so we're gonna take now our new LCD, and you're gonna notice that it kind of already has the plate in there. So if this comes out easily, then go ahead. There we go, that came out pretty easy. Oh, watch out for this part. That didn't come out so easy. Get underneath there. Okay. Very careful. Okay. Make sure that speaker hole is not being covered, and you'll have a problem later. Okay, so now we're going to install that here. There we everything has its little place, it kind of all lines up. Okay. This is going to go right there. And this just goes right on top of here. Okay. And again, I like to always place everything how I took it off, so I don't have to worry about figuring out which bolt's which. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now, definitely like to make sure that there's nothing in the frame, because when you come down and there's some dirt or glass, this one wasn't broken, but doesn't mean that there couldn't have been something missing. Piece of glass in there. So I just like doing a once over, making sure there's nothing really sharp in there. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so we're back. Now we want to put this in here. Do it this way so you can see. And you got to be careful. There's like this cable here. You want to slip it between the battery. It doesn't get all bunched up. Okay. Then you want to connect this one. First one. Make sure it's nice and flush. Then we'll go ahead and connect this one. Okay. Connect our battery, nice and flush. Start connecting these guys. Pretty simple repair. Just, it's a little scary in the beginning, especially when the LCDs are very expensive. And that's how we were with the 6 Pluses. When they first came out, 6S Pluses, you know, the LCDs were expensive, so we're kind of, you know, you get a little nervous because you don't want to break something. But once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. Not saying something can't break, but when the price comes down, it's just you're a little more able to take a chance, only because it's not that expensive, you know. Break something or crack the screen installing it, you can buy another one and it's not really going to break the bank. Okay, so that being said, we're going to install this one, finish installing this one. I'm going to test it real quick, just because this is actually a real live repair that I'm doing. All of these repairs that I do, they're all live for customers. This isn't a phone that I took apart, that I bought, and I'm just taking it apart. This is actually a real customer's phone. So I'm very careful when it comes to doing each and every repair. So if you see me doing a couple of things extra, it's only because I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. And let me test the keyboard again. Okay, so basically everything seems to be touching already. And then what I like to do is to use my B7000 glue, which is right here, and just pour some in the corners, like so. Only because these models came out with these kind of hinges, and I don't really like them too much, because if the customers drop these, they kind of pop out once in a while. So especially if there's no more adhesive in here, I just like putting a little bit of this in there. Let's give it that extra layer of protection, especially here where there isn't any. Okay, perfect. Now, just set that in there, and you'll see how easily it just kind of pops in. Stay on this side, and you're all set. Okay, put your bolts in, bottom screws. And you're all set. Okay, there you have it. XS Max completed. Alright guys, thank you so much. If you like it, please subscribe. Click the link. Have a great day. Thank you.